Your favorite fat boys.
Man, what it's like, bitch.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite fat boy, Jerron.
Stefan, a.k.a. Mayhem, a.k.a. Mr. Revoke Your Rights, a.k.a. Mr. Revoke Your Life.
Not revoke your life.
That's how I do it.
That's how you coming today, huh?
You know it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to your favorite fat boy podcast. And we're here with another episode for you. What is this is 54? 54. So appreciate you tuning in. Today's topics, we're going to talk about the mass shooting happened in Buffalo, New York. And, exploring that. And also talk about the abortion ban, overturning Roe versus Wade. That seems to be going to happen.
America hates women.
We'll also touch on the HBO Max series, We Own the City, which is based on the gun track force of the Baltimore City Police Department. And
based off the book of the same name by the journalist who wrote the stories on that.
I didn't know it was a book. Mm-hmm. I just thought they were just putting together a series together.
No. It's based off the book by the Baltimore Sun journalist who wrote about it.
Okay. That might have been a nice little payday. But let's not teeter off here. So first we want to, in honor the victims in Buffalo, we want to have a moment of silence here for 10 seconds for representing for the 10 victims. So we'll start that now.
Yes. Okay. I'm counting.
So when did the mass shooting happen? That happened, but I know it was early May, wasn't it? Was it late April?
Maybe like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of weeks. Let me get the exact date.
Okay.
May 14th.
Okay, so that was only a couple of days ago, no?
A week ago.
That was last Saturday? Yeah. And the day is Saturday, 21st, so damn.
Yeah, it's a week ago. So this occurred May 14th at the Tops in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. So a white supremacist, he was what, 18?
Yeah, an 18-year-old white supremacist terrorist. Let's call him what he is.
Yes. Decided to take his, I don't know what weapon did he have.
I believe it was AR-15.
AR-15 and just start
shooting. He drove 200 miles to a black community and shot up the supermarket.
Yep. And of course, this happens too frequently here in America. I think we had maybe over 200 mass murders this year. And we talked about mass murders before, shootings and on the podcast. They defy it. Anything over 3 to 4 people shot in a one time is a mass shooting. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like over 10 plus to be considered a mass shooting. Just like a very low number. Right.
So at this point we are at 191, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's pushing 200 just for this year. So I believe that the guy, the terrorist there, I think he was there before, like the week of. And he was just like, because somebody reported like talking to him. I think either before it happened or like a day before it happened, something like that. I want to say now, thinking about it, they were talking to him before he started shooting, and they knew something was off about him.
Right.
And in the conversations they had with him, they noticed he was like he was off, and that he had a dislike for people of color. So
yeah, this was a situation where he had been online talking about this, where he planned it online on Discord, and he live streamed the murders.
That to me
on Twitch.
That's something I think has been portrayed in like entertainment. That somebody doing something like that. So that's real scary.
Well, the fact of the matter is he was radicalized, and I guess he wanted to make sure that he wrote a manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to make sure that people who are the radicals in his group know that he did this. So here's the proof that I did this, as it's occurring.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is he believed in the great replacement theory.
What is that? I never heard that before.
Yes, it's a theory that minorities are being brought in to America to replace white folks and make white folks the minority.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this right-wing conspiracy theory that they bringing in immigrants. Black people are having, that's why they're having so many children in comparison to whites, because they want to replace white people and make them the minority in the country.
So they feel threatened by the change, and they want to, suppress the numbers?
Yeah, it makes you think, makes you wonder, maybe white people realize that minorities don't get treated so well in this country.
I wonder why that is. Well, I guess we got a track record of y'all not treating minorities well.
Yeah, so he definitely believed in that right-wing conspiracy theory. And then the fact of the matter is that it's being plastered so much in right-wing news media. I mean, Tucker Carlson has, in over 1,000 shows, has talked about the Great Replacement Theory over 400 times. So it's not even right-wing so much as it is mainstream white conservative theory at this point. So he was on websites that radicalized him, and he said, you know what, I got to do something about it. So he drove to a black community so he could thin out the numbers.
Yeah, he wrote nigger on his AR-15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a picture of it. It's not the picture I saw wasn't the best one. But I don't need to see it. That's, in better clarity. But yeah, you see it on the tip of the gun. He live streamed it, like you said.
Yeah, and he came in full body armor, and everything. So he came to do some damage.
Yeah, and he was finished doing his thing. The cops were there. They took him as peaceful as they could. He did put the gun to his neck, but then he dropped the firearm and surrendered to them.
A police officer tackled him.
So I mean, of course, when these whenever a white person, white terrorists, we call them what they are, white terrorists, does a shooting, they get treated with such delicate care, versus how we get treated when we're apprehended. Whether it be a traffic stop. We all seem to happen over the course of the last 10 years of the different scenarios and things like that.
My thing is that that's not even the issue that I have with it, because we know that's the thing. The issue that I have with it is that this is I'm not even going to say a win, but no, an easy win for politicians. Condemn white supremacy, white domestic violence, white terrorism. And we have an entire elected party who refuse to do it because they know that's their base.
Yeah.
That's the problem that I have with the entire situation. That we have a political party who, their propaganda wing, Fox News, their media, helps to radicalize these white individuals, and then they go do something. Let's think about Charlotte, North Carolina,
right,
with the current president at the time saying there's good people on both sides who refuses to condemn fucking terrorists.
Right. They won't do it because, like you said, that's their base. So one thing about it, the issue I have with it is just that this is such a normal now that nothing has changed, and it seems like nothing will change as far as these gun laws.
I said it before on this podcast, and I will say it again. If the deaths of 24 children changed nothing, then there is absolutely nothing that will happen that will make them change.
Yeah.
The people in power to change the laws.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that's still the test of time.
Yep.
As things have went on, and these things happen more and more often, it didn't change.
Yeah, if Sandy Hook taught us nothing, the one thing it taught us is that the American populace is A-OK with the number of people who get gunned down in America.
Until it happens to them. And then everybody changes their tune and they want to start out speaking out, which is a good thing. Because the more we speak out, hopefully the more things will change. But if those lives ain't going to matter, these black lives ain't going to matter either.
Right.
So it's just, it's just heartbreaking to hear whether it's black, white, or children, that, these shootings happen so often and they don't want to do anything to, put a ban on assault rifles. Like, what is the purpose of having an AR-15 in your closet? Who's coming to get you?
The government?
What's the point of having an AR-15? You're going to hunt. Like,
I want to kill all the deer?
Like, these
and the deer's friends.
You want to shoot Bambi's forest up.
And Thumper.
Shit. You want to shoot the whole damn Bambi Forest up, and it's like, for what? And then like, what? How you like you? I logically cannot accept any kind of answer you give me, as far as like why you need that kind of weapon to hunt or to have.
Because guns are cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I be looking at YouTube videos of here and there about like different guns and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that shit be going off.
It's as simple as that. Guns are cool.
Yeah, we grew up with Nerf guns and
we
water
created
guns.
the culture around it.
Yeah, so it's in our rap music. It's in music period. So yeah, toting is where it's at, I guess, to a certain extent. But
again, like my major problem is that we have an entire political party who are okay with all of their members being racist extremists.
Yeah.
And yet they're the same political party who screams about Muslim extremists. But they are absolutely A-okay with all of them, a lot of huge portion of their members being radical extremists.
Right. I don't think in the since like 9/11 happened up until now, I don't think we've had a shooting with a Muslim even involved.
There have been a couple, but only a few.
Okay.
A handful at best. I said even
but they're not the enemy they tend to look out for.
Yeah, even the former head of the Department of Homeland Security said the biggest threat to America's way of life is right-wing domestic terrorists, white supremacists,
right?
Domestic terrorists.
Right, y'all won't do anything about like the KKK is still, just as, I won't say as powerful as ever, but they still around
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they still around. So
and ideology continues to persist.
But you make sure that you got rid of the Black Panther Party, and you make sure you keep black people down to a certain extent. You pass laws to prevent them from getting home loans and buying homes and things of that nature, and even progressing through the workforce.
Hey, fuck those minorities.
Right.
Well, and apparently, according to the Great Replacement theory, the white folks are going to come to minority, and we can't fuck them, so they got to do something about it.
Right. So when Billy get pissed off, it's okay for Billy to go ahead and to travel 200, 500 miles to shoot people.
Yeah, to find the targets of his angst. So
what was that kid's name during the riots? No, during the George Floyd riots to the States. Kyle Rittenhouse. He got off and was like, his mother drove him some miles with his gun and talking about he wanted to protect
people's property.
People, but you're not even from that area. Why are you even driving out here? And he killed 2 people?
Yeah, 2 people died, 1 was seriously injured.
Yeah,
and he got off, and then he went and ran the circuit on Fox News and all the conservative conventions.
Yeah,
they were treating him like he was a fucking hero.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got paid pretty well too, because public speaking, you can get a nice check for that.
So inviting him to all the conservative conferences to speak and tell his story like he was a fucking hero, and all he did was go to a state he did not live and shoot people.
And then went back home. Man, fuck him.
Yes, Kyle Rittenhouse, the murderer.
So yeah, that's what disappoints me the most, is that nothing's being done. But like you said, it's they're condemning them. They're like they teeter on. They just don't address it as if it's
super fucking quiet.
Yeah, like
said, the Republican Party for the most part has been super fucking quiet. I mean, this is something that is easy. Condemn white supremacy.
But they don't want to. And the same thing, and then now we have, before we get into the abortion ban, I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter and on social media about the question being asked, what do black people do to deserve this?
The thing about it is that it's not even, at least in this particular situation, it was not so much a black person thing as it was a minority thing. Mm-hmm. Because the whole idea of what the Great Replacement theory is that just all of the minorities are converging to replace white people, to be able to gain power over white people by making them the minority. He said a black community is just what he chose, but this would have been any minority community, honestly, especially if you read his manifesto and the way he was talking about it. This would have been any minority community.
Just anybody at the right time in the wrong place. Because then another shooting happened with it's like, I think some Asian women were shot up.
Yeah.
At I don't know what the facility was, but they were recently, it was like they were targeted as well. So
yeah, that was A massage parlor.
That was real recent. I think like within like this month, right?
No. That was a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
And he was specifically targeting Asian women because they were the cause of him having these sexual impropriety thoughts.
That's their fault.
Yeah,
they got
the way he thinking. The thoughts that he's having is because of them. And so he mostly targeted Asian women. I think there was a couple of other, maybe one or two white women that got caught in the crossfire as well with that. But he was specifically targeting Asian women.
Oh boy! So you love different women. You love the women of different minorities, or you lust after them. I should say you don't love them.
Yeah.
You lust after different women and minorities. You fantasize about them. You don't mind us entertaining you. With our comedy or being in sports and things like that, you might cheer for us. We're on your favorite team, but you had this deep disdain for us because of what?
Skin color, obviously, because that's the only difference. I've said it before. There's more difference between genetically difference between you and I as black people than me and some white guy. More genetic variation.
With black people than as white people.
Yeah, but see, you'll find more genetic variation between two black people than you will between a black person and a white person. The only difference is the amount of melanin in your skin. So it's good enough.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Speaking of terrible, America hates women.
Not newsflash.
Right, we've already brought this up before when the states started creating their draconian abortion laws, but now it's come from on high.
Yeah, apparently this was a document that was leaked.
A leaked decision from the conservative majority in the Supreme Court that they were going to overturn Roe V. Wade.
They're going to do it next month sometime, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out. The decision was supposed to come out in June, but it was leaked a month early. The decision hasn't been officially made, but we know it's coming because that's what the Republicans have been doing all this time with blocking Democrats from getting Supreme Court justice picks and then picking all of the people that they did for the Supreme Court so that they could overturn Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, because essentially they believe the conception of life begins at the fertilization. So, but
they don't have any. They refuse to have any types of benefits for when it happens. I mean, if conception of life starts at fertilization, do I start paying child support?
Yeah.
As soon as? And they screaming at, child needs to be born because that's the way God wanted. So, but if we only doing what God wants, as a man, can I not take Viagra if my penis don't work right? Because if you got erectile dysfunction, that's just what God wanted. You walk around with your limp dick and you be happy about it.
That's what God wanted, but that ain't what I wanted. See, I'm a man. I'm a white man. I need to have this.
So the Supreme Court has made the statement that women do not deserve the right to privacy and bodily autonomy.
No, because you're a woman, and we made decisions for you. You can't make decisions for yourself.
And it was funny because I watched a video a couple of weeks ago where there was a protest outside of the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. And a white guy was there, and they were like, my body, my choice. He was like, no, they just told you that your body, my choice.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was a white conservative guy screaming at the women protesting, your body, my choice. And again, Republicans have been working towards this. They played the long game. They've been working towards this for 50 years.
Yeah, they have been. They really have been.
They definitely played the long game.
And you pay attention to the last maybe 5 or 10 years, they have been like putting things in place.
Right.
Especially when Trump was in office, he definitely was putting the last pieces together.
Yep. With Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett.
Fuck Kavanaugh.
Fuck Amy Coney Barrett.
Right.
Who all of which lied at their hearing because they were asked specifically about them overturning Roe v. Wade. 4 of them. Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett. But they were asked that, if you get into the Supreme Court, would you overturn Roe v. Wade? And they all said, it's established law. I don't have any agenda to overturn it. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. But here comes this decision from on high comes out and they say, we fucking lied.
We're going to overturn this bitch. We're going to do what we want.
And once this is finalized and it comes out officially, a bunch of states are ready to revoke all fucking abortion rights. And the Republicans have straight up said right off the bat, anything's on the table. Fucking loving. You like interracial marriage? Fuck you. We banned it.
Oh, damn.
You like gay marriage? Fuck you. We banned it. Anything is on the table.
So once this gets overturned, it opens up a
Yeah, I mean, because
floodgate.
what it shows is that they got their boys in place so they can overturn all of the stuff they want to overturn.
Okay.
That's what it is. Even though abortion rights and Roe v. Wade and the established abortion rights that they created are heavily favored by the majority of Americans. I think it's somewhere along the lines of like 76%.
Yeah. People do not want this to happen.
Nope, they don't.
So it's like
the majority does not. But
So it's like if you ask Americans, they don't want this to happen. So then why do you force it to happen?
because the conservative minority who control a majority of government don't give a fuck about what the American people want. We know this.
We know what's best for you.
We know this. We know this flat out. That the conservative minority, because they represent a minority, the conservatives represent a minority of people in America, don't give a fuck about what the majority wants.
But yet, democracy, I won't say democracy. Well, I guess it's democracy. It's for the people, right?
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be for the
that's
people.
in the name. When you say democracy, that's what it means.
It's supposed to be for the people, but how can y'all are saying fuck it? No, because this is what you really want. This is what we want, my brother.
The Republicans have shown us that they are not okay with democracy if they can't stay in power. They are more than willing to move to authoritarianism and fascism. They've shown us this. And this is just steps in the right direction. To start finding the other and taking their rights away.
Dark times ahead.
Right. And, they understand that people are going to protest, but they've realized that it's not going to fucking do anything.
So how do we get to the point of overturning their decision then?
First and foremost, the Supreme Court needs to be expanded from 9 justices to 13.
Okay.
Because the number of Supreme Court justice seats was created based off the number of circuit courts. At the time, there were 9. Now there are 13. So there should be 13 judges. And the judges need to be, somebody needs to hold them account to the things that they said. During their confirmation hearings, they said that Roe v. Wade was established law and that they all fucking lied.
Right.
All of the ones who signed on, the 6 conservative judges who signed on, they lied. They need to be impeached. Well, at least the 4 who explicitly lied, they need to be impeached. And 3, Supreme Court does not need to be a lifetime term.
I agree with that.
At a certain point, you get to a certain age, you are not in tune about what's going on with the country and what's going on with society. You are firmly stuck in your ways. Sit it the fuck out. You're not.
Because I never liked the fact that all these politicians they are still in office and it's like you just here collecting money at this point.
Yeah, the average age of the government, I believe, is somewhere along the lines of between 65 and 70.
That's fucking old.
Yeah, not even representative of the collective population.
Yeah, and they definitely should change that because I'm just tired of seeing Nancy Pelosi. She's up there, and then a lot of them up there too. Joe Biden up there, Sleepy Joe. It's like, man, you need to.
Yeah, let's not do Sleepy Joe because that's what the right wing conspiracy nuts like to use, and I don't like to use any terminology that they like to use.
Gotcha, my bad. But yeah, it comes to a point where like you say, you're not in tune with what's going on with the people, and
I like to look at it this way: I am the owner of a business. How likely am I to hire a 75-year-old person? But yet, 75-year-olds run our government.
Right.
All aspects of it.
Right,
Old ass people.
But then everybody in their cabinet is younger than them, so because they like they break down I'm sure they break down the laws and documents they're about to sign into place and things like that.
Or they don't.
They just
but the
sign
fact of
off
the
on
matter
it.
is, I mean, if we look at all of the shit that the Republicans have passed in the last year and a half, I don't think they do.
They ain't even reading shit they've been doing like this to keep moving. So yeah, the abortion ban, and then now there's a shortage on baby formula.
Yeah.
So you telling me I gotta keep the baby, but I ain't got nothing to feed the baby with?
Hey.
The fuck are y'all doing?
And you know what they also say about motherfuckers having welfare and assistance? They don't like that either.
But I cut all this shit off.
So they don't like that either. So hey, you gotta have the baby, but there's no guarantee that you'll be able to take care of it, and we kind of don't give a fuck. So the Republican Party only cares about fetuses. They don't care about actual babies.
Right.
This is well established.
Yeah.
Because they don't support any of the programs that support mothers who are going to have babies. They don't support any of them.
And I really don't like the fact that, how firmly they stand on, well, you're going to have the baby whether it's rape, incest.
Yeah, there are so many states that are passing abortion bans that don't take into account rape and incest. I think one politician, I think he was a senator, I can't remember which state, I'll make sure that I get that information posted up, who said, they asked him about, what would happen, what do you think in a situation where a woman is raped? And he said she should have the baby. And I'm like, well, goddamn, well, at least you're honest about about your bullshit.
Right, and I think we touched on this before in some earlier episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that the comments some of these politicians have said when it comes to women being raped and about aborting that child or that that pregnancy rather. Yeah, some things they were really horrific. I can't recall like off the top of my head now, but they were just like, well, one guy said, well, if you do get raped, enjoy it. It won't last that long. And it's like, bro, if I came and did that to your fucking daughter, your wife or whatever, your grandchild, you be telling them you couldn't have the same heart.
Well, because the thing about it is that the people who are making these laws and who are saying these things, they are well aware that if they need to get an abortion, they can afford to do it.
So are they gonna make abortions so costly now, or are they just gonna is the fact that
it's just in those specific states you can't get an abortion? Because one politician, one senator, a Republican senator said, well, we're banning abortion in our state, but you can just go to another state to get it done. But that's not a viable option for so many different women.
Right. Who has the time and the money and the resources?
And that's the point. And that's exactly what they're saying, is that rich folks and people with money can still get abortions. You poor fuckers, keep the baby. America hates women.
Yeah. America has a lot of people. But it's the home of the brave. It's the land of the free. There's so many great things about America. Let's make America great again. When was it really great?
Well, it was great, depending on what your skin tone was and what you had in your pants.
I guess so. Because it definitely ain't what you got now.
So if you were a white man, oh yeah, it's probably pretty good for you.
Oh, it'd be good for a white man. But you can't be white and gay.
Oh God, no!
You can't be. How dare you come out the womb black?
No.
You want to get married to your partner for over 20 years?
We don't like you motherfuckers mingling with the other races.
You want to live in a good neighborhood? What's wrong with this project building we built here for you? With the bodegas are all around the corner and the gun stores and liquor stores to keep you, to protect yourselves and drown your sorrows.
Or the prison right across the street. Message.
And what about the fast food that the food places we've implemented that are not good for you and you develop diabetes and cancer at younger ages?
Who the fuck's want fresh food? Fuck out of here.
No, fresh food belongs to those who actually want it. You don't want fresh food, you want this McDonald's.
So again, we know how American society thinks, and honestly, as far as the Republicans go, they've been saying that they wanted to do it, and they played the long game so that they could.
Evil plan has been inserted.
Right.
And like you said this before about like the blatant evil in front of your face instead of hiding it.
Right. Yeah.
It's a little more appreciated than it's right there in front of your face. Like, look, I'm going to fuck y'all up. I'm going to show you I'm going to fuck y'all up over the next few years.
Right. I love not having to guess.
Right. So this is what you're about to do.
I love not having to guess.
Right. Take a lot of the guesswork out of it. But what's the evil that you know is better than the evil that you don't know.
Right.
So.
And we know exactly how evil they are because they have been upfront about it.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Like, I guess because I'm not white.
The cruelty is the point.
To be cruel is the point.
Yeah, okay. Cruelty is the point.
But life is already hard. Why make it more cruel?
Because you have to exert the fact that you are in charge.
No.
The cruelty is the point.
That's why niggas going to Mars now.
So nobody wants to change the system that has a boot on the neck. They want to become the boot.
Interesting way of looking at that.
That's how the power structure is. Nobody wants to fix the system so that boots aren't on necks. People just want to become the boot.
So I guess it would be things would be out of control. Then it was an equal playing field. If everybody had what he needed and wanted,
nobody would feel special. And America is based off of that whole idea of exceptionalism. That if you work hard and you follow the rules, that you will become successful and be great in America. But when you pull back the veil, we know that that's not really the case. But nobody wants to. Well, I'm not going to say nobody because there are plenty of people who do want to make the system better for the largest amount of people around. But the majority.
So is there any positive outcome with this? I guess we gotta wait till we get some new blood in the system in a sense.
I mean, I guess the only positive outcome that I can even see about this is the fact that this is really going to drive more people who didn't really care about the system to want to participate in the system because the fact that abortion rights are extremely popular. That's why a lot of the Republicans don't even want to own up to the fact that, yay, we're banning abortions on a federal level. They all they care about is we need to find out who leaked the document. Who did it? They don't want to own up to the fact that, yeah, this is the thing that they did what they wanted to do because it's so unpopular. So they concerned about, we need to find out who leaked that document. Don't you want to talk about the fact that they, you don't want to do a victory lap that they finally banned overturn Roe V. Wade and you can ban abortion all willy-nilly? Nope, we need to find out who leaked that document.
Because that was the wrong thing to do.
All right, that's the real story here.
Terrible.
Little bit.
So I guess with that, that being said, we move on to our next topic of the podcast. So recently, HBO Max has premiered a series based on the Baltimore City Police Department Gun Trace Task Force.
Yeah.
That's just a mouthful to say. And about its corruption over the past few years, going back to
2015
with the Freddie Gray riots.
Yep, with the murder of Freddie Gray.
Yeah, so it pretty much documents an officer. I forgot his name, John something, Wayne Jenkins. That's his name. Is he real? Is that a real person?
Yes.
So it bases off of Wayne Jenkins and him being the supervisor or sergeant of the Gun Trace Task Force.
Yeah, the show is based off of the book that was written by the investigative journalist who exposed all of it, from the Baltimore Sun, who exposed all of this.
So, and you didn't watch the show, right?
No. I didn't read the book, but I've read a lot of the reports during that time frame.
So what are your thoughts on the events that have occurred?
Well, the thing about it is, especially after the riots that involved because of the death of Freddie Gray and the corruption in Baltimore in the police force was well documented. So this story is, I hate to say it's nothing new because of the fact that is a very bleak look at the situation.
Right,
but
right.
It is nothing new. The corruption in Baltimore was well known, and even though you do a very popular series, the investigative journalist who wrote the book, it didn't really change the system that this stuff is about. That corruption is still very much there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it just all it did was point a bigger spotlight to it.
Right, and so now you got the writers from The Wire to come in and punch it up a little bit. Bring the drama, and a bunch of great actors to bring the drama, but it ain't gonna change anybody's view of Baltimore City, and it ain't gonna change the city's policies about Baltimore City Police Department.
Yeah, that's very true. I watched I think it's a six
episode miniseries. If I'm not mistaken.
And I've watched 4 so far, and it just made, I get, when I watch it, the more I watch, the more I get upset at the main character, Wayne Jenkins. I get mad at him because it's the fact that he was doing so much. He was sabotaging a lot of these cases in a sense, or his arrest and everything, just to make the numbers. Right. And I know it's dramatized and what they're doing, they is acting, but to know that this is based off shit he's been doing for years. Mm-hmm. It's like, God damn, just a numbers game. Just to fuck somebody's life up, with planting drugs and guns on them. And they didn't have anything, but you gonna make sure you run these numbers up.
Yeah, because policing became a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
They determine how much funding that police departments get based off of arrest records. So that's saying there is an incentive to arrest more people, even if it's for bullshit that you wouldn't normally arrest people for.
Right, and to see the amount of harassment they were doing, again, it's acting, but it's a lot of truth to this because they were, making, like, they were stopping people numerous times for nothing.
Yeah.
Just because they could fuck with them, they kept on fucking people and things like that. And, the corruption's still going on. Everything just kind of came to a head when with the death of the detective Sean Suter. So I wonder how they're going to explain the last two episodes what his role was, because I think they touched on in the papers a few years ago when he got killed that he was about to testify or was going to testify about against them and the wrongdoing they were doing and everything they were doing and things like that. But he supposedly that was a hit, but they made like a suicide attempt, or he shot himself somehow mistakenly. But how you mistakenly shoot yourself? You've been a police officer for 20 years.
I mean, that don't mean you're an expert marksman.
No, but
people with guns shoot themselves all the time.
This is true, but it's like, how is that believable?
Right. I mean, it's easy to come up with the conspiracy theory based off of all of the surrounding situations, but it could very well have been the case. We don't know.
Yeah, we weren't there, so. But yeah, and then I know I heard a couple people say it's not good that they made this series because it puts Baltimore in this bad spotlight. And I'm like, Baltimore was already in the bad spotlight before the series.
Right. Yeah, the series doesn't do that. All this is taking the actual investigative journalism and just dramatizing it a little bit.
Because what happened to Freddie Gray was terrible. He didn't have to die. If he was doing something wrong, then he needed to be arrested. But in the manner of what she was taking care of, didn't have to happen that way.
Right.
To say like, they were just doing their job. To put me in harm's way it should not be part of your job.
We can say that, but they can do what they want.
Yeah.
They the authority.
The authority. So they get off with doing what they want. So that doesn't seem fair at all. Life isn't fair, but
I mean, but they did get charged. Those 6 officers did get charged for homicide. I think didn't they get off?
All of them got off.
Yeah.
Every last one got off. So it seemed like that was that was the charges were brought just to kind of quiet the city down a little bit because it was a lot going on that week with all these riots and everything. So if you had watched it, I would say watch it. It's not like The Wire. Even though the directors, you got the same producers and writers from The Wire, it's a different tale. And also, there's a couple people that were on The Wire that are in this too. So you get like a lot of callbacks to these actors that were there, working on The Wire years ago.
I mean, they definitely have brought in a lot of talent for this show.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool to see that part of it. I also recommend seeing this documentary called I think it's Baltimore We Rise. It's a girl that's detailing the riots during Freddie Gray. So like she's documenting like everything that's happening. Like how about the riots that lasted?
Right.
She's documenting everything from like his funeral to the riots happening to when they kind of like slowed down and everything. So it's a pretty good documentary. I recommend it. Anybody check that out as well. But yeah, if you know about Baltimore, but you read about the corruption, you hear about it. So the corruption's already there. This ain't do nothing, but it ain't really. I don't think it enhanced it in any way or shape or form.
Yeah.
We already know about it.
I mean, every city got good and bad parts. I guess people would prefer that more stuff comes out and highlights the good things about a city, but that's not stuff people want to watch.
If you want to watch that, watch CW. So, but that's just I guess it's just another day in Baltimore City living.
Yeah.
And they fuss about the crime coming out to the county and different things happening, and more crimes are happening when it comes to carjackings or muggings and robberies and things like that. And then of course when it gets warm, niggas want to act out.
That's what they say.
Anything you want to add to the series itself, or like anything you learned new about when you read the articles? Well, you read them before.
Yeah, so. I read them before. So, and I haven't watched the series. I'll probably give it a look-see. Because again, I saw the trailer and I was like, it's a bunch of big name and some very good actors and actresses in that. So, it might be worth a watch. But I've never watched The Wire. So,
What you got against the wire?
Nothing. I lived that shit. I don't need to watch something. I need to watch the shit that I lived through.
You didn't live through a hitman rolling through the streets of Baltimore.
Motherfucker, you were in my house when motherfucker came out and started bucking shots in the head because people were getting arrested.
Yes, but was he the hitman?
He might as well have been. When you shoot bullets in the air, they come back down.
Yeah, you're right. I know. We were standing outside and they were doing this. I won't say a mass arrest, but they were
No, it was a mass
arrest. And we just talking, chilling. The nigga across the street, he was on top of the hill. He's let off some shots. Like, oh, the time to go in. So
I lived in a neighborhood where when shots buck off, I knew it was time to get up. Oh, it must be 6 o'clock. So that's why I didn't need to watch it. I lived through that shit.
I live in a neighborhood where like we hit gunshot. We hit shots like that. We're not sure it's a firework or a gunshot. So
I mean, you can tell the difference when you hear it enough.
Yeah.
Listen for the echo. Fireworks don't have one.
I know. One time I was staying with I sat down at my brother's house. He lived on Motor Street at the time. And I was staying night because we were going to Sixth Place the next morning. And as I going to sleep, I heard pop, pop, pop. And then that followed. And I was like, I ain't never heard that sound before. What was that?
Somebody was letting it spray.
Right. And that was stuck in my head because like the gunshots, when you watch enough movies and stuff, some television, you can recognize that sound.
Right.
But I ain't never heard the spraying of a gun. I'm like, what is that? And then I remember this morning, my brother's wife at the time, she's like, yeah, somebody left a couple shots, but they had a Uzi. And so that's all. And after that, all you heard was just that. So I like, damn. Remember, what's a Uzi?
Somebody had to let it spray.
Right. So, mass shooting in Buffalo. I want to say my thoughts of prayers go out to people. Like, I feel for them, but more should be done for them. Anybody that has been a victim of a shooting in a mass shooting, we should be doing more.
More should be done for the country.
Yeah, the country. That's what I'm trying to get to.
We scream about these things. Nothing can be done about it, but we're the only place where it happens regularly.
Yeah. When you go to the stores now, and when something like this happens, you get like a sense of a question of like, should I go out or something going to happen or anything like that?
No, it's normal for me. You know where I lived.
Right, yeah.
Somebody bucking off shots it's terrible, but it's true. It just became so normal. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how all of America, the rest of America really is. It's normal for us now. Yeah,
I think when it happens, I think for like maybe a couple of days, I'm like, damn, what would not happen when I go out here? Like, what do I do if something does happen? Or I'd be like, Mom, where you going? Dad, where you going? It's like, okay. I'm just thinking in my head, like for them a few days, it's in my head, and after a while it goes, I just don't think no more of it.
Yeah, humans are really good at adapting.
Abortion ban, don't want that to happen, but it is. And that just sucks, because like you said, America hates women.
Yep.
Hopefully things get better before they get worse.
Get pregnant, get back in the kitchen.
Ooh. Don't like how that might make a great t-shirt. I'm gonna give them niggas no idea, so I edit that part out. I don't give them niggas no idea, but we definitely not for it, so it just sucks that we have to talk about it.
Right. I think we've addressed everything.
Yep, so go ahead and close out stuff, huh?
So that's the show. As always, you can check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share. Peace out.
Peace.